Return to your own presence. We're experiencing ourselves in the physical dimensions, the dimensions of matter, and the spiritual dimensions, the dimensions of perception. Within the dimensions of matter, the body represents us. And then, upon the body rests a presence. Return to that presence, your spiritual representation. This presence comes from the distance. It comes from places that are very far from here, not reachable physically. In the world of matter, we might need to travel several light years. And in the world of spirit, instantly, as soon as we invite the presence, it comes. There's always a presence. A human being cannot perceive themselves without a presence. But there's always a different presence. Different in the details, not in the essence. Different in the lenses, in the perspectives, in the points of view. And yet always the same presence in the essence. When we move towards the details, we move towards the world of many. We move closer to the physical within the spiritual. When we move towards the unity, the source, the sameness, we're moving back to where it all came from. Manifesting as the lens that is the many, or manifesting within the unity, are both legitimate manifestations. However, manifesting within the many opens up to risk and danger. Manifesting as the one results at first in spiritually avoiding all risk. Physically, the body is still exposed to whatever happens to matter in the world of matter. But spiritually, in the world of unity, there is no risk, there is no danger. The concept of otherness doesn't exist. The concept of conflict doesn't exist. Where there's no conflict, there's no danger. So the world of unity is the safe world, and therefore we come back to the unity when we require safety. The world of the unity is a world where we can heal spiritually and physically, because disease by its nature is conflict. The unity destroys all conflict. So we emphasize the unity because that's the one that's easy to forget. The manifested, the many, are an integral part of the experience. They're not our enemies, but they can become our enemies. And that's the danger. We can perceive them as our enemies, or we can behave in a way where they really do inflict damage on us. And so there's the potential for harm. Back to the unity, where there's no potential for harm. To heal in the physical is to return the organ to its original nature and function. So healing is the process where something that was damaged and dysfunctional returns to full function. The same applies to spiritual healing. Healing is returning the functions of all our spiritual organs to their healthy condition, where they protect us, guide us, and serve us the way that they were designed. So when we return to the unity, from there comes healing to all the parts, because from there comes life, and life is healing unless the life gets interpreted into conflict. If two organs are trying to heal and they're working against each other, then neither of them are accomplishing much. But when those organs are cooperating, the life force is healing them both. And when the spiritual heals, the physical heals. The physical is an indication of a disharmony in the spiritual. Every manifested form of damage speaks to some form of inaccuracy in perception. So to heal, we return to the unity. From the unity comes forth healing, and since we are in the unity, we're not causing conflict within the stream of the life force, and therefore the healing that comes forth from the source can affect every single organ. Life returns to how it knows to be when we don't force it to be something else. So when we heal, only then can we really fully unite. Any part of the spirit that's not healed is also by definition not united. And so when everything is healed, when everyone is united, then we invite the presence that is unlike any other presence. Because this presence is the only healthy presence that can rest upon a human body. As long as the human body, the organs, the physical organs, the spiritual organs are dysfunctional, that body is inviting a presence that's dysfunctional. Something within the invitation also invites elements that we would rather not have present within our decision-making process. And so only when everything is healed and there's unification do we invite a presence that is completely balanced, completely healed. That presence is also known as Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit. The Spirit that's holy is holy because she is healthy on all levels. And therefore, she doesn't infect humans with any form of disease, physical, emotional, or spiritual. And therefore she is holy, which means every impure spirit is unhealthy in some way, and in whichever way it's unhealthy, it's also spreading that unhealthiness. And in whichever way it's unhealthy, it's also not seeing reality the way that reality really is. And in that way that it's not healthy, it's also interacting or representing things that are incomplete or inaccurate. So the Holy Spirit is the Spirit that doesn't lead you astray. It represents an authentic interpretation of reality. It's not interpreting reality this way because of some form of disease or conflict. It's just interpreting reality this way because this is the way that it really is. That spirit comes from the unity. And because it's safe within the unity, because it knows itself and can never forget, therefore it can look in reality straight in the face without fear. When we avoid seeing reality, we don't realize its beauty. It's covered with some ugliness, man-made ugliness. Beneath the man-made ugliness is an infinite depth of beauty that is not visible to those who are afraid to look. Those who are afraid to digest the external ugliness cannot come forth and see the depth of the beauty, the perfection, the abundance of force, patience, wisdom, all of them constantly evident in a way that is limitless. If a human being would only show a tiny fraction of this power, everyone on the planet would shake. And yet, because the owner doesn't boast, nobody's looking. This presence that we can interact with as we unite is the presence of that power. It's a link to the collective that communicates live. This is who we are within our nature. We are the collective, each one a branch, each one a representative of the collective. But we think we are something else. We think we are something very sick and very broken. And as we think that, we become that. As we become that, we believe it. As we believe it, we act like it. And then, as far as everything is concerned, that's all there is. And yet, it was just a misunderstanding. Everything could have been so different. Everything is so different. The gap that we have between life and death is because we've created an artificial reality that doesn't line up with death. Death doesn't exist in our perception of how we live. And yet, death is an integral part of the process we're here to do. So we're hiding from reality, we're hiding from the way that things really are. And in the way that we think we are, we're very little and we're very weak and we're very small and fragile. In the way that we really are, we're much bigger than death. Even the smallest and the weakest of us is going to pass through death and still experience plenty. They're only going to realize how alive they were once they pass through the process of being alive in a different way. So with the unity, we start this process of connecting to the one we're going to meet after. That's already here. It's the same presence. There's only one presence. And yet this one presence has an unlimited amount of faces. Everyone is seeing a different face all the time. All through the same presence. In order to upgrade the presence, in order to upgrade the face, we want to learn how to invite. How to invite in the world of spirit. It's very different than in the world of matter. In the world of matter, when we invite, it's up to the other one to decide if they want to accept our invitation. In the world of spirit, everyone, everywhere, is waiting to get an invitation. There's no question they're going to accept. They're going to accept instantly. The question is, do we know who to invite? If we invite the right one, we get blessing, we get healing. We have access to the world of spirit. We have what the ancient people would call everything. Everything is a state of mind. Nobody can have everything, but some people had everything. And at the same time, if we invite wrong, and whatever comes plays out, from all we will benefit. But what do we want? Become aware of your presence. Become aware of this reality, this mystery, this wonder that lives on from generation to generation. The body, combination of different forms of matter, and upon it comes the presence of beings that are far beyond anything physical. Beings that are all powerful at the source from where the physical came forth. Become aware of your own presence.